Hello, James from JRodPhotoART here, and this is my BirdBuddy Pro. Weeks later, it's broken. Well, how do you break a BirdBuddy Pro? Well, tell that to the squirrel. So this little handle here is what you use to grab the camera and pull it out. Well, this is what the squirrel did. He grabbed the camera, pulled it out, probably used his mouth, chewed on this little handle, yanked it out of here, grabbed the USB-C cable, and ate it. Ripped the connector right off. So I have cleaned this up, ready for repair. So this thing rendered the camera, the whole feeder, the camera, useless. It will no longer charge. It went dead. Done. Well, I called BirdBuddy, and they said, well, you got to protect your feeder better. Use baffles. Put it somewhere where squirrels can't get to it, which is an extreme challenge, as we all know. Okay? Well, and then they said, I'll give you 30% off a new top. Oh, but the tops aren't in. Well, the top does snap off of here. Comes off. It's the solar piece. It comes off. But I don't know what they were going to charge me. I said forget it. It's 2 wires. Let me see if I can fix it. Okay? We will talk about preventative measures next, or at the end of the video. So let's go like this. But it's a super good design, per se. But if a squirrel gets in here, you're in trouble. So, solar panel. It's got this little wire here. There's no play in it. The other end of it was the USB-C. It would connect right in here to the USB-C connector, and it would keep it charged. Okay, on to the repair. So this is a 2-wire USB-C connector. Get on Amazon. Get yourself a 2-pack. Came in 2-pack. Okay. Trim this back. Okay. Use a good pair of trimmers, wire strippers. Okay. Clean that up. And on Amazon, you can find 2 lead wire. So this is real simple. Black and red. It's only doing power. Trickle charge, power, USB-C over to the camera. Charges it up. Okay. Now this wire is kind of long, so let's get started. Okay. I've got over here a nice soldering station, 600 degrees. Got my flux, my cleaner. Got some solder, and you can literally buy heat shrink tubes. Okay, an entire assortment of them for like $9. It was cheaper to buy. Really, I couldn't find any small packs of whatever, small packs of assortment. So I ended up buying a whole pack. It'll last me a lifetime. Okay, I do love to solder and make projects and do things like that when it's that time of year. All right, so there's room inside here for extra cable. So I need to figure out, how much cable do I want to put in here. It might be easier to trim this down, of course. Trim it way down to about here, so there's not that much extra cable. I think I'll go ahead and do that. So let's we'll get the tools out here. Here we go. Snip. We'll snip it right about here. Okay. Well, let's see if we can clean this up. Like this, the really big wire first. These are really handy. Remember, the piece it has to hold on to is in the back here, so let's trim it back about here. Go for the big, now you want a little tight. And pull that first top piece off. A little tighter. Boom. Pays to have good tools. Alright, now we got the red lead, black lead. Let's see how small we can get here. You want to get a good amount on here. Whoops. course, this one is not going to do it. Not enough. We're going to have to try a little razor blade trick here. Actually, I've got another pair of these little guys. Let's see if this will work. Let's get right in here. One at a time. Yeah. There we go. Probably should have worn my glasses. There we go. Keep the workbench clean. Alright, so these are braided, not solid. So we're going to give a twist on here. Twist these up. Twist him up. Real simple, red to red, black to black. Give it a try. Twist these up as much as you can so that all of the fibers, the wires are stuck together. Make a good solid connection. Looks like I'm going backwards, but let's keep twisting right to the end. Okay, we're going to do the same thing over here. These things I think I've done already. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to solder this one to this one. Let's make them about the same length. I'm going to cut him just a hair short. Okay. So they're going to solder on like that. This one, I'm going to cut them both a hair short. That makes sure that you have the ends line up. Sometimes some of the wires might get taken off, like that one. You can see it's wrinkled up a little bit. We'll just cut him back. So that's plenty of wire there. That's plenty of wire there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go a little bit shorter. But you do want to try to make them the same length. Let's see here. Let's do this. Okay. Cut these back just a hair. There you go. That'll go like that. Actually, I've got to come up. I've got to trim it one more time. This black one's got to go just a hair, just to make sure. Some more twist on there. Thank you for being patient with me here. Let's give him just a little bit more. Oh boy, a little bit short. That's fine. It'll solder up just fine. But you want these to be the same length. Okay, close enough. Close enough. All right, so next thing you want to do is you want to tint these. They call it tinting. So we're going to take soldering rings on, good and hot. A little bit of flux. Make it nice and clean. Got some solder here. I'm going to get this hot. You can see that. Camera check here. I'm going to get this hot and put some solder on here. Flattens out a little bit, but it's okay. Let's see if we can get. Am I not hot enough here? There it goes. Essentially, this makes get that piece of wire hot. You see that? It puts the solder, pretty much makes it a solid piece of wire when you tint it like that. Get the wire hot. Solder melts into there. There we go. A little extra solder on there. There we go. Good to have a set of extra hands. Put your soldering iron down. Let's tint these sides. Soldering iron. You see that? There we go. Camera check. Tint this side, get it hot. Just make sure you got lots of solder in there, makes a good strong connection. Alright, looking pretty good there. Soldering smell is fun. A little bit of extra there. So we'll do one side at a time. So now, this next step is to get your heat shrink ready. Get yourself a good size here. And a whole assortment, of course. This is the heat shrink. Give it a test. That goes on. So we got some goopy solder here. There we go. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Alright. Be careful, let that cool off before you do your heat shrink. So, it's a very thin piece. We'll slide on here. I don't think I've got, let's see here. Yeah, that goes on fine. So what we're going to do, let's cut this in half. Okay, we need one. You want to cover the whole thing though. I'm going to pull him all the way back like that. Of course, you got to get it on here before you solder the pieces up. Just enough. Alright, that one might be a little too long. I'm going to snip him just a little bit. Let's see if we can... I mean, it's just 2 wires, right? Let's see. If you put this here just right, we could probably hold it there. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. It's held right in there. Alright, let's heat them both up. A little extra wire here. The solder that's in there already will get on there. Solder those two together. Try to make it smooth and clean. Nope, still got some over here. You gotta get it pushed together there, so it'll cover up. Looking all around, I think I can jam that on there. Alright. It's on there, so let's see if we can... Oh, look what I did. Nope. Almost fooled me there. That is red to red. I saw the black. I'm like, uh-oh. Ah, you know what I did though? I screwed up. I need to put a bigger piece on top to cover the whole thing. Okay, well, screwed that up. But that's okay. We're going to pull him apart. Good thing with solder. Clean that up a little bit. Still plenty of solder on there. Alright. We need a bigger piece to cover all of it. And we're done. So let's put this big piece all the way down here. A little snug, that's perfect. Okay. Alright, let's go back to this again. I got a bunch of solder on there, so maybe I can just do this. Probably a better way to do this, but let's see. Alright, I gotta line this up so it holds together by itself first. You could probably twist them together. That's probably, we could do that too. Get them. I don't mind putting them straight on. Let's see if I can get on there. Let's get some solder on here. You could probably twist them together, fold it, and then solder. There's many ways of doing it. Extra solder on there. I'm just kind of welding them together here. Welded together. A little bit more heat. Spread that solder around. Not perfect, but it'll work. Let's do this one. See if we can get them to stay together on their own. Ah, look at that. It's on there. Soldering 101 here, huh? The basics. Alright. Now what we want to do is slide. Uh-oh. Yep. So there you go. The heat shrink. Heat it up. Oh man, I'm definitely rusty at doing this. Look at that. The heat shrink shrunk up on there already. Isn't that pretty? Oh, got too close to the... Got too close, so... Alright, the way we'll fix that is... I'll cut a piece. You could probably use the bigger piece. The heat shrink, yeah, got on there. So let's, I'm gonna cut a piece open. Do it over top. Slice this open. We can trim him back. We can put this right on top. Twist it so the side. Take our. Let's clean him up. Tight spaces call for better technique. There's one way of doing it. You could get the hot air. They make I think they make a micro hot air blow dryer type thing. I'd make sure that these are on the other side and wrap it with the other one. Get it all around. I know it's cheating a little bit here, but we'll see. As long as the big one gets over all that, let's get the other piece. Like that. Yeah, I know it's cheating a little bit. Let's see. Watch your fingers. A little sloppy, but I think this will work just fine. Alright, let's slip the ironing down. This is where you want to make sure your wires are even, but let's see if I can get this bigger one on top. That's going to be tight, isn't it? Too tight. Let's see if I can shrink it a little more. You could use tape too, but I like to use these heat shrinks. This thing, see if it will go. Right. That's not going to go. Lovely. Well, let's cut him off. Or leave them there and get a bigger piece. But we're gonna have to we're gonna have to trim him up again. And then maybe put some tape on it. Huh? Don't like doing it that way. I wonder if we can. Nah, it's way too big there. I mean, I can leave it as it is, but I want to cover it up. He's definitely not getting on there. Lovely. I'm going to try to cut him off without ruining the rest of it. Never said I was the pro, but I know just enough to get me in trouble. Lovely. Lesson learned. What if I do two? Put one on top and one on top of that to cover up the slot. Could try that. cut the wire underneath. Alright. Let's grab a big piece. Wow, just almost enough. I wonder if I could overlap it a couple times. I'm going to do it right here on this. I'm going to do it along the fat side of the fold. Like this. If it will overlap. Lovely. I know it's a hack job. Let's see if I can fold it. Should I put it like this and do two pieces? Probably better. Let's fold it like this. See if I can come around with the fold. Let's do that. But it won't glue together, will it? Oh, look at that. Looks like it will. Twist him in and work your way down. Unfortunately, it's gonna will it stick to each other? Maybe not. I'll test it when it cools off. I think it'll hold in there enough to what we're doing here. I'll just take another 3/4 of a piece here. Trim a little bit off. Okay, it's a little sloppy, but I think it'll be fine. Overlap it. I'm going to tighten it up. Definitely shrinks up. So if I can keep the squirrel out of there, and this is just tucked in on the inside, it should be fine. Well, it's sealed in there. Most importantly, the wires are connected and they're not touching each other. There we go. Not the prettiest job, but it's in there. Try to seal it up, protect it. So, what we do now this out. So this piece is going to go in here and connect and then come back up. See? Like this. I'm going to connect this to the camera and then feed it back up. So I can't see that. So it's okay. That part's on the camera now. So feed this back up. Flip it around. You can see this is all in here now. Tuck this in. Close this up. Of course, this is where you put the feed in. It's really not in the way. It could have been long, could have been shorter, could have been longer, but he's just tucked in there like that. Close this up. That closes up. Flip this around. All right. So now what I need to do, I'm going to get a little metal band and screw it into here so that he cannot pull this out. So if you can't pull this out, you can't get to the wires. And of course, I got to take it outside, let it charge back up, and see if I'm back in business. So for less than 20 bucks, kind of MacGyvered it a little bit. I will do another quick little video when I have a little something on here. I'll do a short and show it being attached. This doesn't matter here. That's just a piece of plastic for you to grab and pull the camera out. You don't really need to take the camera out often, if any, at all. Unless you want to use it for something else, I don't know. So if I screw in a band across here, he's not getting that out again. Alright, thanks for watching. I know it was a little brutal getting through it, but it's fine. A little bit of handiwork on the workbench. This is James from JRodPhotoART. Thank you for watching. More to follow. Have a great day.